Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. And welcome to Toronto, a gorgeous night by Lake Ontario for a rematch of last year's ALDS, the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays are starting to turn a corner, but still have work to do. They've won 8 of 13 in the month of August, still in the mix in the AL playoff picture. While the Yankees still have the second best record in the American League, but they've seen the deficit in the division grow to 6.5 games as Tampa Bay has won 9 in a row entering tonight. We look at the AL wildcard picture. Blue Jays just took 3 of 4 from the Red Sox to slow down their hot pace. The Tigers have won 7 of 10 to get into a playoff spot, but the wildcard race, well, it continues to be tight. 6 teams within 2 games of the playoff cut line. And welcome in, everybody. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielborg's here with you. The story for these two teams all year, anemic offense. And from a variety of places, they've been lacking. Let's talk about the Yankees first, because this team has been missing Aaron Judge for most of the season. Still, though, reliant on the home run ball.
Yeah, but they got a nice little bump in the arm with George Lombard. And both teams, I mean, for the Toronto Blue Jays, you got a 13-game stretch within the division where you could do some damage. But the Yankees also have a chance to show off one of their young prospects that can start to buoy this offense for them.
Yeah, the Yankees all year long have been searching for a different place to find offense with the guys that they don't have, not only Judge, but Stanton and Bellinger, who have been out of the lineup, reliant big time on the home run ball.
Well, and that's okay, because the Bronx Bombers, when they do walk and hit homers, they win a bunch of baseball games. When they don't, they're not very good, but that's about to change. We have seen in basically 10 days George Lombard Jr. Now, we saw him in spring training. He split around a fastball against Garrett Crochet, and people were like, whoa, this is the #1 prospect in the Yankees organization. The scouting grades are off the charts. His makeup is off the charts. This sprint speed right here was one of the tops that the Yankees have had this season. And the defense, oh my goodness, he is sparkling over there. The routine plays, he's been good, but he made a play up the middle. He reminded me of Ozzie Smith with the bare hand. Just the reaction time. And he comes from a great family. His dad has played in the big leagues for a bunch of years. His mom is a rock star. He has baseball in his blood, and he has his head completely screwed on straight. So I feel confident that George is going to enjoy the moment.
Still just 21 years of age, George Lombard Jr. He will face Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays here tonight. Let's be clear about this Blue Jays team. Ravaged by pitching injuries, but it's Bieber's year that really could be the linchpin for a total turnaround in Toronto.
You're not kidding. And for Shane Bieber, I mean, the previous years when he was healthy was phenomenal. But for guys that are coming back from Tommy John, he had it in 2024. One of the last things that come is location. And for Shane Bieber, he's been out of location more than anybody in baseball. He can spin it, has a great slider, has a great knuckle curve. But for guys, when you're a hitter and you're facing somebody that's not in the strike zone, it becomes a lot easier to hit. That's why the opponent average is up so high. The hard hit percentage is up. Bieber's been getting hit because he's not throwing enough strikes.
And again, the story for Toronto from the beginning of the year on their pitching staff, all these injuries. That includes Trey Savage, who might be shut down for the rest of the regular season. 2 guys who they acquired at the trade deadline are also down. They hope to get Spencer Arrighetti and Jamison Tyone back before the end of the year. Great pitching matchup here in Toronto. Bieber toes the rubber for the Blue Jays against Garrett Cole for the Yankees. When we come back to Toronto, Trisha Whitaker on Cole's phenomenal tenure and even more impressive job coming back from serious injury with the Yankees.
I'm here. I've always been here.
Swing and a miss. 15 strikeouts. Garrett Cole now passes Ron Guidry for the most strikeouts in a single season. And not only does he win a game, but today he probably won the Cy Young Award.
Garrett Cole to pitch in the World Series for the New York Yankees.
That was Cole's 1,000th strikeout in 139 games with the Yankees, the fastest in franchise history.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. A beautiful night for some baseball here in Toronto between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. It had been 569 days since Garrett Cole had been on a major league mound. Of course, we know he had Tommy John in 2025. And before his return, fair questions were raised. What type of pitcher would Cole be returning at 35 years old after surgery? The answer? Garrett Cole looked like Garrett Cole again, and he's making history while returning from those surgeries. This season, he's already inked his name into Yankees history, becoming the fastest pitcher in franchise history to reach 1,000 strikeouts. But perhaps even more impressive is what he's done lately. Since the start of July, he's posted a 2.72 ERA across 7 starts and against some of the best lineups in all of baseball. I spoke with Yankees manager Aaron Boone about Cole, and I said, what is it that's standing out to you about Cole this year? And he said, the man just has a new elbow. He's healthy. And he said, the other thing about Cole, at 35 years old, he evolves incredibly well. And then he looked at me and he said, imagine if we get our offense going, what that starting pitching rotation would be capable of heading into October. He said, we can be very, very dangerous. Around the corner, we'll have much more from Toronto. Your first look at lineups and first pitch when we return between the Yankees and the Blue Jays.
Back to Toronto. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. What a night for baseball at Rogers Center. The roof is open and we're ready to go. Trisha Whitaker down in the field with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
All right, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., this team took 3 of 4 against the Red Sox, one of the hottest teams in baseball. Give me the vibes of the clubhouse right now.
I mean, we got good vibes, you know. We're trying to play one game at a time, you know, and for us, it's like all the game we can make the playoffs in front of us, you know, and we try to have some fun and play the game the right way.
Everything is in front of this team. You historically are very good against the Yankees and very good against Garrett Cole. How good does that make you feel stepping up to the plate tonight?
I mean, that's good, you know, especially we come the win 5 series in a row, you know, and for us, it's one, like I say, one day at a time, and whatever happen.
Everything's in front of them. Vlad, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Guides, back to you.
All right, Trisha. Vladdy Jr. and the Blue Jays taking on the New York Yankees in a rematch of last year's ALDS. Starting lineups presented by BetMGM. Yankees lineup featuring Luis Garcia Jr. 78 runs batted in. That is 7th most in baseball, and he's hit 2 in his 8 games with the Yankees. Shane Bieber has had an up and down year since returning from an elbow injury that kept him out until late June. Tonight he makes his 10th start of the season, and it really does feel like, Spilly, he is going to be vital for the Blue Jays' hopes down the stretch.
Well, you hope so, especially when you think about the chances for this Blue Jays team to put on a nice little run. So he's going to kickstart it. Let's spill the beans on him. If you know, you know. It's I am the one. Pivotal stretch, get a quality start from Shane Bieber, start everything right, and beauty and the beat. He's got to use his slider and curveball, limit hard contact, avoid the walks. And for Shane Bieber, he went to a really good college in Santa Barbara. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. 4-seam fastball, changeup, knuckle curve, cutter, slider, sinker. And when Bieber's right, he's using the fastball, sets up the curveball off of it. His off-speed pitches are really his bread and butter. And he has to stay in the strike zone against a Yankees team that looks to walk and then hit the long ball.
Blue Jays, who have used starting pitching, even with all the injuries they've dealt with, to keep them in the hunt. 8-5 in the month of August. Taking on a Yankees team that had a great showing this past week. 2 of 3 from Atlanta, one of the hottest teams in the National League. big test of playoff readiness, and then took 2 of 3 from Seattle this week. They've won 18 of 29 since July 9th and carry the second best record in the American League into today. Bieber to face Trent Grisham to get the night underway. And Bieber from the windup deals on the inner half at 93 to get the night started.
Grisham this week has been really swinging the bat well.
Hitting .316 over his last 9 games, 9 extra base hits over that span for Grisham. And as we talked about to begin our broadcast, anywhere that they can find slug will be important. This is the 3rd worst scoring team in baseball, the Yankees, since the All-Star break.
And just hearing you say that, you're like, what? How is that possible? But it is, because they're not hitting long balls.
Their average as a team and on base as a team are the worst in baseball by far since the All-Star break. And since Aaron Judge's injury, dead last in the AL with runners in scoring position, as the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Grisham.
And the thing is, with this Yankees pitching staff, top to bottom, talking to Aaron Boone about it, this could be the best collection of arms that the Yankees have had in about a decade.
That's strike 3. Grisham frozen on a knuckle curve. 1 gone.
That's what I was talking about for Shane Bieber. He has to be in the strike zone. Started the first 2 pitches were strikes. Now he can use his off-speed pitches to get the swing and miss.
Take a look at the Blue Jays defense. The rookie Brett Bateman in center field after they traded away Dalton Varsho, and a couple Gold Glovers in the infield with Andres Jimenez and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as Ben Rice bats. What a season for this young man. A breakout year, on pace for more than 40 homers and more than 100 RBI.
One more.
For non-Yankee fans, when you see Ben Rice in those numbers, you automatically assume he's done all the damage at Yankee Stadium. That's not correct. He's hit more homers, higher OPS on the road than he does at Yankee Stadium.
I got
He did have a bit of a lull coming out of the All-Star break. His OPS has dropped, spiked the strikeout rate a little bit. Had an 0 for 17 drought until late last week. But he could be the first Yankee first baseman, I should say, with 40 homers and 100 runs batted in since Jason Giambi.
Wow.
You know I cover the Rockies, so Ben Rice was the reason why the Rockies have a Rookie of the Year hopeful in TJ Rumfield. He was blocked.
Count runs full on Rice.
You're good. You still got one.
Shane Bieber, his biggest challenge so far has been control and limiting walks. His breaking pitches have been lit up, and he's been nibbling around the strike zone ever since coming back from an elbow injury that was different from his Tommy John surgery. Payoff. And Rice on the ground to second. Ernie Clement is there for the second out. Let's give you tonight's weather report presented by Ricola. 77 degrees, clear skies pretty much. Gorgeous. Low humidity.
Perfect.
Said you went on a run out and about earlier today, Bill?
Of course. I'm not kidding. I felt like everybody in Toronto was outside today.
It's patio season, that's for sure. Or cottage season, if that's your jam. Here's Spencer Jones, the rookie. Since his most recent recall, 11 runs batted in over that span. Jones, 25 years of age, from Encinitas, California. Recalled most recently in the wake of Cody Bellinger's hamstring injury. Bellinger, of the three big Yankee sluggers, is the closest to returning, as Bieber pulls the string there. Left hamstring strain. Might be back within the next week and a half. Heard Aaron Judge played catch today. Still at least a month away, maybe towards the end of the regular season. Jones held his swing. And the count, 3 balls and a strike.
You just see the big body from Spencer Jones, and his setup. You've heard comps to Aaron Judge. He also has a little toe tap similar to Shohei Ohtani. But this is the problem at times when you have some young players that have swing and miss, is even in a fastball count 3-1, Bieber's an off-speed pitcher. So he can use his off-speed pitch to get him back into the count. And a pitcher like this, it's hard to just drive the ball. You have to use the whole field.
Back-to-back full counts here as Jones fouls this off. First game of a 6-game road trip here for the Yankees, who now have not only Jones but George Lombard Jr., a couple of younger players in their lineup. Are hoping it provides a jolt. Good at bat here by Jones.
Well, Jones will take a walk, 11% walk rate on the season, but he does have the punch, 35% strikeout rate.
Paints the corner with the breaking stuff. And the inning is over. A pair of Ks for Shane Bieber as the Blue Jays come to bat. Sun's starting to set here in Toronto as you peer inside Rogers Center, and we take a look at the Blue Jays lineup presented by BetMGM. Blue Jays featuring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 343 career average against Garrett Cole, 12 hits in 35 at-bats, but he is still without a homer at home this season, remarkably, by this stage of the season. He'll bat third for the Blue Jays, and the rookie Brett Bateman to lead things off against Garrett Cole. You heard Trish's report as we were coming on the air. Just incredible what he continues to do late into his career.
I mean, amazing. You look at the last 13 seasons, Garrett Cole has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's durable. He's a horse. He's been a #1.
Cole's won each of his last 3 decisions coming in. Poked up the middle. Cole dodges it. Lombard fields and throws in time for the outs. Let's spill the beans on Garrett Cole.
This is King Cole. His last outing, he recorded his 1,000th strikeout, which was the fastest in Yankees history. Also, will always have the high strikeouts per 9. Punched out a bunch of tickets against the Atlanta Braves. Old dog, new trick, and I'm not making fun of his age, but he has learned to throw this kick changeup, and that has been a huge increase in usage this year.
Garrett Cole, who will turn 36 in September, as he faces Nathan Lucas here. Cole, you heard it from around the horde of media who cover the Yankees. Just remarkable, that 1,000th strikeout as a Yankee last Saturday, accomplishing that feat faster than anybody else in franchise history. Previous record holder was CC Sabathia, did it in 162 appearances. Cole only needed 139.
And as you watch him, he's always been able to spin the four-seamer, and he really reinvented himself when he was traded to the Houston Astros. That's where he started to learn how to use his four-seam fastball. So when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Pirates at that time, they were taught to use sinker slider. That's just what they did. Astros, they said, hey, no. We like to spin it at the top of the zone.
Full count here to Lucas. Among active pitchers, 4th most strikeouts. Payoff pitch. just below the knees for ball 4. 1 out walk for Lucas.
StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud, and when you think about Garrett Cole, it all starts with the 4-seam fastball, right around 50% of the time, still has great velocity. The slider has always been a wipeout pitch, and there's that changeup. The changeup is new for him. We'll throw the knuckle curve, the occasional sinker, just to show a different look from his 4-seam.
Here's Vladdy Jr. And he chops one up the middle. Fielded and flipped by Lombard to second for 1, on to first for a smoothly turned double play. Lombard to Chisholm and on to Garcia. The inning is over.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV. We'll take a deep breath, Yankees fans, because we have started to see the signs of a potential return for Aaron Judge. Aaron Boone told me today that Judge played catch, and it went well. I asked about a timeline, and he said maybe a month. He said I'd give it a month because he has to get back in baseball shape and into that conditioning mode, guys. Look at those numbers. With Judge, they are obviously a better team. His scans showed enough healing for him to start upper body work in the weight room and running. Of course, we know he hasn't played in a game since May 31st with that fractured rib. And Cashman told MLB Network Radio they need the whole engine firing for Judge on all cylinders. He said, we don't need him to blow a tire elsewhere because of the downtime and the lack of conditioning. So he's got to be properly tuned up so we can get the player we expect when he's ready to go, guys.
Yeah, Trisha, I think it's so interesting how the Yankees will try to deal with Judge's return and with Giancarlo Stanton, who has taken some live BP, did some outfield running recently, started the introduction and running the bases, dealing with his calf injury, because right now where the Yankees are at in the standings, they can afford to slow play both to get them back into the lineup. Fly out from Luis Garcia Jr. to lead off the second. They still have their 3 big ones from an offensive perspective out. Carlos Rodon is on his way back. Clark Schmidt as well continues to throw live bullpens. Be interesting to see how the rotation works as well with Rodon coming back. There's going to be a guy pushed to the bullpen.
Yep.
That'll be a luxury for the Yankees to have in the postseason.
That's what makes the Yankees so scary, is if they do get into the postseason and they're starting to get fully healthy, they have a long run in them.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. ropes one to left. First hit of the night for the Yankees, and he's aboard with 1 out.
It's a really nice piece of hitting from Jazz. He's kind of letting the fastball travel. You want to try to get the baseball deep when you're facing a guy like Bieber because he spins so many pitches. So that's a really good sign for Jazz getting on board. We know Jazz can steal bags, 31 of 38 on the season.
3rd most stolen bases in the American League. Elliot Ramos, one of the 2 guys acquired by the Yankees at the trade deadline. Chisholm, though, well, it's been an adventure. Got on base the other night with a walk and then got picked off.
Yeah, I went back and watched this multiple times. Jazz was just so late getting his lead, and already tonight, I mean, he's getting out there very quickly.
Holy cow. Almost gets out of the way. I think there have been a lot of grumblings from Yankee fans, both in the field and at the plate, with Chisholm and the year that he's put together.
Sure, and he was somebody that said before the season started, you know, he wanted to go 50-50.
This is smoked up the middle. Bateman, though, got a good first step. And he makes the catch on the run to his right. Rookie who was acquired from the Cubs. And the deal sending Kevin Gausman to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to seeing Dalton Varsho in center field, but Bateman, this guy flies. Good read, and that ball was squared up. It must have had a little bit of top spin because that's what forced Bateman to kind of reach down for it.
I'll bring up Ryan McMahon, Yankee 3rd baseman.
I'm out.
Well, McMahon, I've known for a long time. Love him and his family. First day in the big leagues in Miami. Got to interview his wife Natalie and his mom Tracy, and Jim McMahon, not the football player, just a wonderful family. His younger brother, football player, basically his hero. And McMahon's made a couple little adjustments at the plate. He's starting to pull the ball a little bit more. I asked him if he backed off the plate. He's always been somebody that stands off the plate. He said, actually, I'm getting closer. He's moved up towards the plate.
It's starting to produce some results, hitting well over the last 10 games. Go ahead 2-run single on Tuesday against the Mariners, and is about of the calendar year now with the Yankees after coming over in a trade last year from Colorado. Bieber's fallen behind him, 3 balls, no strikes. And there's one on the corner. What he may lack at the plate, he brings defensively. Gold Glove finalist each of the last 5 seasons, McMahon. See the shift on. A lot of lefty hitters in the lineup for the Yankees tonight as he pops this up sky high, shallow center. Bateman making the call and the catch to end the inning. The Yankees strand a base runner, and we're through an inning and a half. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is brought to you by Meineke, doing car care right.
Well, one of the things that have frustrated Yankee fans is just the attention to detail. Chas Chisholm, this one didn't know that there was 2 outs. They had it right on the board in Toronto tonight, and you could see Luis Rojas, the third base coach, kind of reminding him, come on. You know, Yankees have had some trouble throwing to the right bases, sliding off the bags. Those are the small details, and something that they have to clean up over the next month as they get healthy.
I think it's been a big criticism, especially glaring in the postseason, where those details have come back to bite them, whether in the field or on the base paths.
Yeah, no question.
George Springer at the plate, and we have a challenge here.
Ball's overturned.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Vic Carapazza, the crew chief, behind home plate. Springer grounds 1 to short. Lombard is there. Leadoff man retired. Umpiring crew tonight with Carapazza, Nick Litz, Hunter Wendelstedt, and Brock Baloo. Bring up Alejandro Kirk. Blue Jays have won 11 of 17 coming into the night. They can get within a game of a wild card spot with a win and a Tigers loss. Detroit and the White Sox playing tonight. Chicago White Sox continuing to pace that division by 2.5 games. Gonna have another challenge here. And the Blue Jays are 2 for 2. Alejandro Kirk, part of the middle of this order that, combined with Guerrero struggling all year as the bat flies out of the hands of Kirk, with Springer coming back down to earth after his terrific year last year. And then there's Kirk, who missed a lot of time earlier this season. That was a bat they sorely needed.
Yeah, I mean, he took a foul ball right off his thumb and ended up fracturing it, and they need Alejandro Kirk. He's such an important hitter in this lineup, and as you start going through all these numbers with Toronto from a season ago, I mean, they've lost a run per game. That is a huge marker. And the thing that stands out, they're 29th right now in baseball in runs scored, 29th in baseball in home runs hit. They missed the production of Addison Barger, who's out for the year. They, of course, missed the production from Guerrero. They missed production from George Springer.
Both teams coming off shutout losses yesterday. Toronto, you mentioned that decrease of a run year over year as Cole misses away. It is one of the worst year over year declines in offense in baseball history. You don't see a team go from nearly 5 per game to under 4 per game with largely the same group. Jays still 5 games under 500, but given where the American League has been this year, still in the mix. And the count runs full here on Kirk. John Schneider, I think, has struggled sometimes to come up with an explanation, and I can't blame him. It is inexplicable in a lot of ways. Kirk draws a walk, although Austin Wells took a look back, declines the challenge, should say. You take a look at where this offense was last year, all the ranks near the top of the American League, and it's the exact opposite a year on.
Yeah, and if you remember the board that we just showed you with the decrease in runs scored per game, 3 of those teams in that list came off a World Series season. And there is no question such thing as a World Series hangover. I experienced it in 2007. Next year, 2008, high expectations for our team, same roster, could not get back on track.
This is driven to right field by Andres Jimenez. It is off the base of the wall. Kirk will jog to third. Jimenez with a 1-out double, and the Blue Jays are set up. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
Jimenez has been swinging the bat pretty well of late as well, and this ball just driven to the gap. Any other base runner, you might see a 1-0 lead. With Alejandro Kirk, he is not the fastest player on the field, and so he ends up getting to third, and now it becomes the infield will play back. The Yankees will not draw the infield in, so a productive out scores a run.
Extends his on-base streak to 11 games, Jimenez, and gives the Jays a chance here with their leading home run hitter and Kazuma Okamoto. 24 homers on the year. 1 more will set a new Blue Jays rookie franchise record.
Well, Okamoto has struggled second half, and it's kind of the wall most guys hit in their first year in the big leagues.
No homers his last 13 spill. He came out of the All-Star break in an 0-for-24 slump, but he and Munetaka Murakami have already surpassed Shohei Ohtani for the most homers by a Japanese rookie. He's delivered.
This is where Garrett Cole's going to seek the punch out.
Oh, 2. Cole, who's still approaching 36 years of age, hunts punch-outs among the best of them. He's allowed 3 runs or fewer in 11 of his 14 starts this year, and has been on the winning end of each of his last 3 decisions. Decision time here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Okamoto. Swing and a foul tip into the mitts of Austin Wells. First K of the night for Cole.
For Garrett Cole, he goes to the old trusty slider, and for Okamoto, non-productive at bat. You're just trying to get the ball moving forward on the ground, in the air, any way you can to give yourself a 1-run lead. And that's what makes Garrett Cole so special.
Jesus Sanchez now. Talk about the Yankees missing some sluggers in their lineup. Addison Barger out for the year in Toronto. Anthony Santander, another Missed season. On the ground hard. Snared by Chisholm to his right. And the inning is over. The Blue Jays threaten, but cannot score. Jazz Chisholm flashing the leather with a backhanded stop. And the game is still scoreless. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Goodyear. Along with the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spilborghs, Tricia Whitaker down to the field, Alex Faust here with you at Rogers Center in Toronto. Terrific crowd, as you might imagine, for this matchup, Yankees and the Blue Jays. No score as we head to the third. Shane Bieber's only allowed 1 base runner so far. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. Wells, Lombard, and Grisham. And a tough year for Austin Wells, health-wise. Headaches related to a backswing that caught him in the helmet. And they thought maybe he had a concussion earlier this year. It impacted his vision for a bit. He said he would get random pressure headaches at the top of his head. But again, he cleared the concussion protocol, and they just determined cervical headaches related to a neck strain, essentially. Missed 3 weeks. But once he actually figured out the diagnosis, he said he could actually get treated properly for it. And it seems like he's turned a corner the last couple weeks.
I'd love to get his back going. I mean, he's somebody that can impact the baseball, can hit for power. You know, his receiving skills are above average. You know, he's done his job with his pitching staff. This pitching staff, top 3 staff. I mean, we can make arguments. You can say they're number 1. It doesn't matter.
Played every game in August so far. '21 homers a year ago. Just 8 this year. And he laces this one foul. Stay alive on Bieber, who has another full count.
What a crowd tonight in Toronto. It is perfect.
Biggest patio in the province, right here at Rogers Center. Payoff pitch, foul straight back. Although I was very jealous of Tricia because she got to go up to Muskoka, be on the lake this week. Wish I knew somebody who.
Hey, you know Tricia.
Well, that's true. Degrees of separation. I don't know. Here's a payoff. And Wells holds his swing. Leadoff walk for Austin Wells. A couple moments ago, Tricia caught up with John Schneider for our manager interview presented by Sage.
All right, John, let's talk about the offense. You said you liked what you've seen from them recently. Jimenez, some production there. What did you like about those at-bats?
I mean, I think making Garrett work, you know, taking your walks, you got to capitalize on that. Good swing from Himmy on a hanger. Just couldn't cash in. Even Sanchi right there hitting the ball hard. You got to just stay on it because he's one of the best.
Shane Bieber, you mentioned that his location has been a lot better recently. What are you seeing from him today?
Yeah, just that. Really good spin, too. Really good curveball. And not afraid to use his heater, I think. He's trended in the right direction the last handful of starts with his location, his fastball. Against these guys, you got to locate. So hopefully he can keep it rolling.
Thanks for the time, John.
Thanks, Tricia.
Guys.
All right, Tricia. Lombard at the plate here, who had hits in his first 4 Major League games until going 0 for 4 Sunday against the Braves. But boy, you know when that New York media gets whipped up into a frenzy, especially in a position the Yankees are in, needing a jolt and getting a younger prospect in, the youngest player to start at shortstop for the Yankees since Derek Jeter in 1995.
And that's always going to be an issue when you're playing shortstop for the New York Yankees, is you're always going to be compared to the captain. You got to temper expectations for a young player. It takes a little bit of time, but his defense has been stellar.
I think a lot of the conversation has gone towards not only his potential, but who went the other way the day that he was recalled, and that was Anthony Volpe. At the time of his promotion, Lombard led all Yankee minor leaguers in on-base, doubles. He was top 3 in OPS. There's all that. The sprint speed, the defense. But can you put it all together? And we saw Anthony Volpe rookie year, right? He comes in, wins the Gold Glove, had some big postseason moments. Never really felt like he was able to lock into the job. And well, Yankee fans have really been on his case for the better part of a year and a half. And it sounds like they're going to try to change Volpe and his position, try to get him some reps at second base to see if that can get him turned around. Lombard sticks the bat head out there on one hop. It's Jimenez to second for one, but Lombard flies up the line, and the throw not nearly in time. So he'll reach on fielder's choice.
There's the off-speed pitches from Bieber. He's really using it, spinning him well tonight. We're looking at some of the numbers with the spin. There you have no chance to catch him at first base. I mean, he averages close to 30 feet per second.
He's moved up in the lineup a bit since his debut. Batted 6th on Monday. Back down the 9-hole here tonight. Has yet to record a steal at the major league level. Leadoff man here, Grisham. Lombard dancing off first, and Grisham rips it to right. Lombard going first to throw. He's going to hold up, and he's in trouble. And he's going to be in a rundown. He evades the tag, but was out of the baseline. And they're going to call him out. He was full tilt going around second base. Threw on the brakes, but by that time it was too late.
Just a heady play from Nathan Lucas in right field. This ball's hit way too hard, and you get it. Also, it's the court awareness from Jimenez, where he understands, don't stay set up. If you can get it, go to the bag. And not only that, I mean, it's good team defense because it's Shane Bieber that ends up recording the out. Actually, since he was out of the base path, but Bieber was there for it.
And this is hit on the ground by Rice. Clement bobbled it, but makes the play. Solid defense by the Blue Jays in the third to retire the Yankees.
Now the Blue Jays, they took advantage of a young player, George Lombard Jr. He's got great wheels, but also the awareness of Nathan Lucas, Andres Jimenez. And for George Lombard, this is a learning moment for you, just because, like, it's artificial turf. That ball was hit really hard right at you. As much as you want to go first to third on a play, go to second. You just stay there. You have an inning you're starting to develop. It's a learning moment for George where this kid's still young, right? Like, he's gonna learn on the fly. I don't mind aggressive base running, but you also have to understand what kind of right fielder you have, the environment.
And out on the base paths certainly will add to the learning experience for Lombard. One gone here in the home half of the fourth. Couple moments ago, Trisha caught up with Aaron Boone. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Aaron, wanted to ask you about Gerrit Cole. We know he's healthy this season. That's made a huge difference. You also mentioned he evolves so well as a pitcher. What's impressed you most this year?
Yeah, just he's healthy, one, obviously, and just his curiosity and his desire to be great. He's always working to get a little bit better on the margins, and, you know, feel like in a lot of ways he's a very complete pitcher right now. You know, tonight, a little up and down with the strike zone right now, but has made some big pitches to hold him scoreless so far.
Lombard got caught in that rundown right there. What did you see from your vantage point?
Yeah, just overly aggressive, hard hit ball right to the right fielder. You know, you're probably not going to get to third there. You can't take that big of a turn. We got caught.
Aaron, thank you so much for the time.
Okay.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Trisha. Quickly 0-2 here on the Blue Jays leadoff man, Brett Bateman. I think there's an understanding that Lombard will have to learn. You throw him into this environment. The Yankees have already determined that they're a better team with him up here than what they had before. And you're going to have to live with that.
And if you make mistakes, make them now. Make them now.
Well, I'll tell you.
Going to have a challenge here.
Challenging the call of ball.
Austin Wells initiating it for the Yankees. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile, and he is spot on. Flips it into a strikeout. Quickly 2 down. Tricia, what do you have?
Yeah, you guys were talking about George Lombard Jr., and let me just tell you what Aaron Judge said about him after his Major League debut. In a great MLB.com article, Judge said, it has been incredible to watch. He said, seeing him in spring training, you see the tools, you see how he carries himself and his personality. He said he's got it all. So for him to go out there and get a chance finally to live out his dream and hit a home run, impressive.
No doubt. Quick start to that young man's career, but a learning moment here tonight as we head to the 4th in Toronto. Welcome you back to Toronto. Tonight's odds courtesy of BetMGM. Odds to win the AL Cy Young. Cam Schlittler of the New York Yankees pacing the field. Dylan Cease not far behind the year he's put together. But we're chatting with Cam downstairs. Thanks for putting on the headset and joining us here.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me.
I think for you, as I've watched you evolve, I mean, the thing that stands out is using 3 different fastballs. How long have you been doing that for?
Yeah, again, I mean, always had the 4-seam, added the 2-seam last year when I got called up to the big leagues, and had the cutter there. But again, it took me a while to kind of figure out what I want to do with that pitch. Definitely had that heading into the playoffs, and then kind of just after that, the success I saw. That's a nice hit there. Just being able to, take that into the offseason and incorporate, both fastballs.
That's going to be a leadoff double there for Spencer Jones.
That was nice from Spencer Jones.
Yeah, he's a great player.
We're going to show the replay. It's smart for him. He keeps his eyes up, and then he runs way better than most people think for something that's 6'7". He's basically eye level with you, Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Not many guys are.
He's toolsy. He's toolsy.
Stood next to you downstairs. You've had some incredible performances early in your career. Last year in the wild card against the Red Sox, and then this year when you got to go back to Fenway Park. I know you're a proud Northeastern Husky, just like me. The Massachusetts thing it's a real thing when you get to go back home. It's probably tough to pitch in that environment. How did you handle that, not only last year but this season?
Yeah, again, it's a great feeling to go back home. Obviously going to Northeastern, very proud to be a Husky, and they support me a lot. So again, it's a great feeling. And again, I mean, growing up, Boston, Fenway, I mean, it's a great stadium, great environment, and it feels comfortable to go in there and throw, and it's always good to have, friends and family there.
Luis Garcia Jr. here as Bieber will step off the mound. I know we were talking earlier today that you're still trying to learn as much as you possibly can about pitching in the big leagues. What is something you've picked up from being around some of the veterans on this staff like Max Fried or Garrett Cole?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, Garrett, Max, Carlos, they've been a great help. Obviously last year.
This is driven to center field by Garcia. Will stay in the yard. Bateman makes the catch. Jones the tag, heading to third. Out at third. Okamoto swipes after him. I don't think he got him though.
Aaron Judge quickly threw up his hand. He was shaking his head.
Yeah, challenge.
He wants a challenge.
Yeah, I don't think he got that one.
You had a better
great throw though
than we did.
That was a great throw.
New York is challenging the outcall at third base.
All right, so you can't see the replay, and Okamoto just missed the tag of Spencer Jones, so this should be overturned. But you're right. Brett Bateman in center field got behind it, made a really strong throw.
Yeah, not even close. I didn't know he had an arm like that. That was a great throw.
Replay review powered by Zoom, and Spencer Jones will be at third base. Aaron Boone right away had his hands up. What's it like with some of these younger guys here with Lombard coming up, with Jones, and getting this infusion of youth on this team right now, this point of the season?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Again, I mean, last year, obviously, I was one of the younger guys, and it's tough, like coming into a clubhouse, a lot of older guys, a lot of experience, and kind of just want to prove them right. And it's great to have Spencer here, George, just kind of get that feeling of just being around some guys, like coming up within the system. And again, the older guys treat us great, so it's just a really good environment. It's a great place to learn, and I feel like we can kind of build off that with each other.
After the call on the field is overturned, the runner is safe. New York will retain.
There you go. Hey, Cam, when you have a long video replay and you're on the mound, what does your mind go through to make sure you stay in rhythm?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just obviously trying to throw a pitch or two. Depending on who's challenging, I think it's getting like, I didn't really look at what he just did, but got to try and get a throw or two in and lock in. Obviously, one out guy on third, you want to make sure he throws a strike here to Jazz. So I think a pitch or two, on the mound while that's going on is definitely going to help you.
And Field brought in here for Chisholm, who pops this foul. How much do the tools now available at the minor league level help you now at the major league level with all the video that's down there and with a challenge system that's available?
Yeah, for sure. Again, we had no equipment, nothing like that in Northeastern. So again, to the minor league system, I mean, again, it's a whirlwind, and the Yankees are so good at what they do, and there's a lot of tools there to help you. So I saw the challenge system a little bit in low A, a little bit in 25 in AAA. I didn't really do it much, but again, I think it helps a lot. So batter's got a great eye. I challenged once here, actually. It did not go well, so I think I'm done for the year. But again, I think it's a good input for the game right now.
Was that self-imposed, or was that's a nice snag at first base? How about that?
That's a great snag. Yeah, I mean, again, I think I went 7 innings, but I was walking guys, and I think I was just begging for a strike there. I just put my hand on my head, and definitely regretted it right after.
All right, here comes a big moment in this game, trying to get the first run across.
Ball and 2 strikes to Chisholm. He'll take low and in.
I'm always curious, Cam. I never played for the Yankees. What is the weight of throwing that jersey on? What does it feel like to be successful? What does it feel like to know that you're part of such a historic franchise?
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, obviously, I grew up, hating them. What came into my career is, exactly where I want to be. And yeah, man, the fans they're prideful, and it takes a lot to be a part of this organization. And it's special. So being able to walk into that clubhouse every day, I'm blessed by God to be a part of that. And really, there's no better feeling than being a Yankee. And obviously, we haven't won a championship in a while, and that's obviously the main goal, to bring one back to New York and again, represent this great organization and city as well.
It'll be a payoff pitch on the way here to Chisholm. And he flies one to shallow center field.
I don't think that's going to do it.
Bateman is jogging in. And not only was the stop sign given at third base, there would have been no chance because Luis Rojas was in the middle of the baseline. Would have had to bowl him over. Cam, your family, obviously Massachusetts, and you mentioned wearing the pinstripes, and your dad still chief of police in Needham, Mass. He helped with a lot of the ticket requests I heard when you were pitching up in Boston earlier.
Sure.
So what's that dynamic like with the family and with family friends?
It's great. I mean, again, my family has always supported me, and they're definitely the reason I'm where I'm at right now. So again, they're big Yankees fans. They love it. They lock in when we got games every night, and that's something they love to be a part of. So yeah, I kind of just give, I tell the ticket guy, kind of just handle with my dad. He usually hands them out to the friends and family, and again, they have a great time, going there and enjoy it with everyone. It's always good to see them after. So friends, still trying to work on them, but they support me, and they really do. And they love.
Ramos, fly ball, deep right center. It'll be tracked down by Bateman. What an inning for him in the outfield. And we thank Cam Schlittler down at the Yankee dugout. Thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Go NU.
Yes, sir.
Tonight's aerial coverage in Toronto is brought to you by Goodyear. What a night in TO. Scoreless game, Yankees and Blue Jays. Great crowd on hand, filled to the brim here at Rogers Center. Guerrero, Springer, and Kirk, heart of the order, due up here for Toronto as Garrett Cole gets back to work. Like Blue Jays fans have been looking for every small sign that Guerrero is starting to turn it around, but even after that double play that he grounded into in the first inning, just you could see it, and that frustration is starting to mount for a guy who is so pivotal for this Blue Jays offense. Still without a homer at home this season. Has not homered here since Game 6 of the ALCS.
It just doesn't make sense. And you know, when he does hit one here, this crowd will celebrate it like it was the greatest home run ever hit.
He was unconscious in the division series against the Yankees last year. 9 for 17, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Grand slam off Max Fried in Game 2. And Guerrero on a line in the air to right. Jones is there. Tricia, what do you have?
Yeah, guys, we know that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has not looked like himself. He's got 18 home games, I believe, remaining to avoid going an entire season without a home run at his own ballpark. John Schneider told us before the game, listen, Vlad has started taking some swings that look like Vlad again. He said his mechanics are where they should be. They just need luck to start falling his way. And guys, the biggest word I've heard just around the Blue Jays clubhouse to describe what's going on with Vlad is just weird. No one can quite explain why it's happening.
I mean, I've looked at some of the underlying stats. Barrel percentage is down for the last couple years, so overall bat speed is there for him. It's very similar to George Springer. I mean, a lot of the underlying numbers, the hard hit, strikeout rate, walk rate, is pretty much in line. Even the bat speed is in line. It's just balls on the ground and not doing damage with pitches.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, you would assume at some point, Guerrero would have hit a hanging slider for a homer, or he would have blasted a fastball into the right center gap over the fence.
Springer is rung up. Third strikeout for Cole. 2 going to the 4th.
And now Garrett Cole's starting to roll that fastball. He dots. I mean, when you can throw a fastball at 97 miles an hour, just paint it on the outside black, nothing a hitter can do. And we knew coming into this series with the Yankees and the Blue Jays, it was going to be about execution.
Hold down.
Execution in situational opportunities. So both teams have failed on that. We have seen runners at third. Both teams have had a chance with less than 2 outs, and both have failed.
Blue Jays had Alejandro Kirk 90 feet away in the second. The Yankees just now had Spencer Jones in the top of the 4th inning. Neither side able to break the ice.
Ha! 2-1.
This was not going to be a slugfest series between these two pitching staffs. The staffs are too good.
Oh. Kirk trying to catch up to the heat.
Up at the top.
Two. Full count. Cole touching 100.
I love the adjustment that Garrett Cole made with the old school over the head mechanics. Reminds me of Paul Bird. And for Garrett Cole, it's all about creating some momentum and inertia.
And for Kirk, it'll be a weak ground out. A 1-2-3 4th for Cole, and he is rolling.
Well, Shea Bieber has been in the strike zone tonight, right around 67% first pitch strikes. You see it, there's 10 of them for the 4-seam, one with the changeup, and that really sets up the off-speed pitches. He's had a couple outings. His last 3 outings, he's had at least 2 walks or more, including an outing where he had 6 walks, all in the first inning. So that is a good sign for Bieber that he's in the strike zone early.
His walks have been a huge issue. Didn't last more than an inning. It was only 2/3 of an inning. He had a start not too long ago against Washington. Had to be yanked. And he gutted out 5 2/3 his last time out against Philadelphia. Line maybe not as bad as he looked on paper, but still 5 earned on 6 hits, issued 3 walks. Not nearly the dominance that we've been accustomed to.
That started against the Phillies. He got Schwarbombed. Kyle Schwarber got him for 2.
Corner to McMahon, who is going to challenge. Let's see where this wound up. Oh, that missed entirely. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
McMahon's been good with challenges on the season. He's now 5 for 6.
Oh, that was right off of Kirk.
You okay?
Wearing the hockey mask. Two and 2 to McMahon. That's strike 3. 1 gone here in the 5th. Let's head back to the studio. Sierra Santos with an update. What do you have?
Hey guys, at PNC Park for the Red Sox and Pirates. Brandon Lau with a few on. He goes deep for a 3-run blast. It is 7-2 Buccos. Spilly, Alex, let's get it back to you guys.
All right, Sierra, Blue Jays just took 3 of 4 from the Red Sox to slow down their red-hot pace after they, what, 27 out of 30? It's incredible that they're in this position to begin with, given where they were earlier this season. 5 to the good on the Tigers, who sit in the last wild card spot. White Sox are up 8-3 on the Tigers in the 6th inning. Rangers were just bumped out of that last playoff spot. Twins continue to hang around. Their offense seems to be clicking even without Byron Buxton. They added some pitching at the deadline.
I have a feeling the American League is going to come down to the final game of the season.
Get your tiebreaker scenarios ready.
And that's the thing. You don't see game 163 anymore. It's gone.
Lombard at the plate here for his 2nd at bat. Bieber wants a new baseball. The Yankees have the fortune of their stellar rotation that's really helped carry them into this position where they have some cushion in the wild card. As Lombard strikes out, the Blue Jays are hoping that their pitching staff will do much of the same. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless. All right, the summer break is over. The title fight resumes. Kimi Antonelli leading the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton close behind. Formula One is back Sunday, August 23rd on your new U.S. home for F1, Apple TV. Scoreless game. Bottom of the 5th in Toronto. Yankees and Blue Jays. Garrett Cole cruising. He's allowed just 1 hit.
One of these teams is going to have to figure out how to scratch across a run.
Talking to the Yankees folks, they feel they've done a good enough job getting to opposing teams' bullpens. They have not yet figured out how to score runs early all that frequently. But they feel like late in games they have been better with situational hitting. Jimenez with a pop out for the first out of the 5th. Run scoring's been at the premium. probably sick of hearing about that.
Yeah.
Both New York and Toronto.
Well, the thing with Toronto is they just had a fantastic series against the Red Sox, and we're talking about how scorching hot the Red Sox have been. I think as you look at the Blue Jays roster, I mean, there's no question there's a run in there.
I think we're already starting to see it. I mean, they had a difficult schedule coming out of the All-Star game. Let's take a look at this close pitch. Call the ball. No challenge. And now 1-1. So the Blue Jays coming out of the All-Star game, they lost 2 of 3 to the White Sox, lost 3 of 4 to the Rays, then lost 2 of 3 to the Red Sox. And then they started to turn it. Won a series against the Nationals, won a series against the Cardinals. 2 of 3 against the Astros, 2 of 3 against the Phillies. You're seeing the theme here of how it's just little bit by bit. They feel that they are finally playing some solid baseball.
And they had to get through the trade deadline. There's just so much pressure on this team because of the expectations from last year.
I think you raised a really good point with John Schneider. Can you exhale after the trade deadline? And he said yes.
And I loved what the Blue Jays did at the trade deadline. It was creative. It was necessary. In a way, they got better.
On the ground, left side, diving stop. McMahon pops and throws. Not in time. What an effort. Full Superman dive to get to that baseball. And Okamoto barely beats it out.
I've seen this for years with Ryan McMahon. He is so athletic to his left. He already has 4 outs above average. And then watching Okamoto running down first. Cole was hoping. Okamoto, he was sniffing out the hit. Sometimes that's all you need for an offense is just a little bit of a seam.
What can the Jays do with it? This year they have the 3rd lowest rate of all teams scoring a run with a runner on the base paths.
Again, none of the stats for the Blue Jays make any sense.
All right, last year, with that exact stat,
they're number 1.
Top 3. But even so, Jesus Sanchez here. They have the 3rd lowest rate of extra bases taken with the ball in play. That was a strength of theirs last year. Okamoto off first after an infield single. 0-2 to Sanchez. Here it comes. He's able to foul it off. Almost leaned on the fastball once again. Pretty good pitch count. This will be number 60 of the night. Got him. Elevated. And got the punch out.
That 4th punch out for Cole. And he goes elevated fastball. Just has the ability to use his fastball in all the quadrants. I mean, that's the thing that stands out about Garrett Cole. It's not just that he has high-end velocity, is he has the ability to locate it.
Bring up Clement. Tricia.
Yeah, guys, you were talking about the Blue Jays at the deadline, and John Schneider even told us before the game, he said, yeah, it turned a little bit after the deadline. He said, we've been playing better in all phases and defensively. And I asked him what the biggest difference has been for the offense. He said, we're just getting more hits with runners in scoring position. So perhaps that turn is going to continue happening for the Blue Jays, guys.
This will be backhanded by Garcia to end the inning. A ground out for Clement, and another base runner stranded. 5 in the books in Toronto, still deadlocked. 32 bites, 1 champion. Complete the Ballpark Bites bracket for a chance to try these items at a stadium of your choice. Vote at MLB.com/bracket. And a reminder, from official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, MLBshop.com has you covered. MLBshop.com, your source for your favorite team gear. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker here with you on a picture-perfect night at Rogers Center in Toronto. To the 6th we go. Zeros on the board. 3 hits for the Yankees, 2 for the Blue Jays. And the first of a 3-game set. Top of the order here for the Yankees, and Grisham. This is a part of a stretch for both teams, playing a lot of games in the division. First of 6 games in a 10-day span between these two teams, and it's lifted to right field by Grisham. To the track, to the wall, it is gone! Trent Grisham goes yard and breaks the deadlock in the 6th. Number 16 on the season for Grisham. 1-0 New York.
Well, Trent has been swinging the bat really well, and for him as the leadoff, he got him up top. 16th home run of the season, and he got a little fastball, spins it right around. It's exactly what the Yankees needed.
10th extra base hit in a 10-game span. 5th homer over that span.
Yeah, he is hot right now. That's the Yankees' 170th home run on the year.
Second only to the Washington Nationals. They have the best home run differential in baseball.
Yeah, by 48, 49 now.
Rice with a towering fly ball. Bateman underneath this, and he will make the catch.
That gives you an idea, just the power. Very short, very quick to the baseball. Guys loved it. Especially when you have 2 Bulldogs on the mound going toe-to-toe. And sometimes it's one swing that wins a game.
Ground ball, first base side. Guerrero takes a step back and flips to the covering Bieber for the 2nd out. Another one on the list for the Yankees. When they hit a home run, they are 57 and 34.
You see the Nationals #1. That's why they went out and got Luis Garcia Jr. I mean, this has been a career year for Garcia. 24 homers.
When they loved how his profile would fit at Yankee Stadium, that short porch and right.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
He was.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Aaron Boone has been tossed. And now he'll get his money's worth.
Aaron Boone will always stick up for his hitters and his players. We know this. We've seen it. We've heard him talking about how his hitters are savages. And I will point out, with the challenge system, especially since the Yankees have one, this is where the umpires are saying, if you have a problem with the strike zone, challenge it.
Fourth ejection of the season and 50th for Booney as the manager of the Yankees. I'm sure they're rolling already at John Boy Media. Ball and a strike to Garcia. Now 2-1. Brad Osmus, bench coach, will take things over in the Yankee dugout.
experience, players love it when their managers get thrown out. Kind of fires up your dugout.
Well, they need a bit of a spark. Put up double-digit runs Wednesday against the Mariners, blanked yesterday. And they have been held quiet here today. Finally get on the board with a Trent Grisham homer. 2-2 to Garcia. And the count will run full. Yankees still have both of their challenges, as shown by the 2 dots underneath their logo. Same for Toronto.
And now you understand from an umpire's perspective, if you're in a chirp and you have challenges, that's what the challengers are for.
Garcia down on strikes. And the inning is over, but Trent Grisham breaks the ice in Toronto. A long ball to right, and it's 1-0 Yankees. Tonight's scouting report is presented by CarShield. We take a look at Toronto outfielder Brett Bateman, the rookie, to lead things off for the Blue Jays here in the home half of the 6th.
This guy fits the profile for the Toronto Blue Jays, and it was an interesting week for him when he got traded. Of course, we heard stories about Kevin Gausman and being in tears on the team plane when he was told that he was getting traded. For Bateman, he was on a bus. He was on a 7-hour bus going to his next game with the Iowa Cubs. And when he was told, he had to immediately go and head to Buffalo.
Pokes this one right side through for a leadoff hit in the 6th.
So as Bateman got to Buffalo, he had none of his stuff because all of his stuff went with the Cubs team. So his first game in Buffalo, had to borrow a pair of cleats from his teammate. And then, of course, a couple days later, he's called up to the big leagues. And you think about traveling. It's a nice play from Jazz, just trying to extend. But this is what you want if you're the Blue Jays. Get that leadoff base runner on. You imagine the whirlwind that this kid has gone through. Being with the Cubs, minor leagues, now in the big leagues. And yes, he has his own cleats now.
I would hope so. Trisha?
Guys, you may not know much about Bateman. He made his debut in August. We've talked about that. He made a strong impression. He's got elite speed, but he's also got elite emergency response skills. Listen to this story. In his dorm room in college, a girl he had never met who lived down the hall suffered a blood clot. She collapsed. Bateman happened to be in the study room nearby. Through the doors, he saw her on the ground, tried to wake her up. She wasn't responding. He called 911. He had others in the hallway keep her still and safe until the medics arrived. She had to be revived twice at the hospital. She went into cardiac arrest, but she made it and survived because of Bateman, guys. Crazy story.
Incredible. Bateman, an 8th-round pick of the Cubs out of the University of Minnesota. Not a lot of times you can say ski-yuma at a Major League ballpark. And he's talked about it. He was behind Pete Crow Armstrong on the Cubs depth chart in center field. Some guys feel a lot of anxiety and uncertainty when it comes to a trade. He has gone head first into this experience, saying this is an opportunity for him to show out, especially after the Blue Jays made a move to trade away Dalton Varsho and open up that center field position. Looking for his first big league stolen base as he dances off the bag, and Nathan Lucas is behind a ball and 2 strikes. Lucas, ground ball, snared by Cole, throws to second for 1, Lombard to first, not in time. Garrett Cole can feel his position with the best of them. Nearly turn 2.
Just trying to watch to see where Lombard was on this one. He's moving up the middle, and then you see he has to shuffle his feet, get to the bag. That's why Garrett Cole wasn't throwing it immediately, and then we get to see the arm strength.
allows Lucas to reach. Bateman is erased. And here's Guerrero. Guerrero lays off, but it's strike one.
See the fielding, he had a double clutch waiting for George to get to second. And there's times where you see a guy throwing uphill on the slope, launch it into the outfield.
What can Guerrero do here with a runner at first? Hits in 6 straight games coming in. One area that has not diminished. Still gets on base. Leading the team in on base percentage. That pitch could have been challenged. One, two. Cole misses with the breaking stuff. Earlier this year, Guerrero said he was trying to do a little bit of everything. He was arriving at the ballpark early. He was hitting in the cage ahead of batting practice, staying late, hitting some more after BP just to try to find something. Then we heard about a flare-up with his back and then a hamstring issue that's been bothering him.
He got a vote of confidence from the Prime Minister of Canada, so he's got that going for him. It's got to be incredible pressure. You get an entire country riding on your shoulders.
Time out! Time out! Time out!
Cole at home plate. That should not count as a disengagement.
No.
$14 years, $500 million for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Austin Wells just wants clarification here from Vic Carapazza on what exactly transpired. As does Garrett Cole.
I just love Garrett's demeanor. It is to have a guy on the mound that is in full compete mode.
2023 Cy Young winner, 6-time All-Star, and one of the greatest free agent pitchers the Yankees have ever signed.
No question.
He still wants an explanation. He's going to call Nick Lentz over from first base. Everything reset here. Full count to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 0 for 2 on the night. Brad Ausmus with a quick trip out to the field. We're going to have an announcement here.
Catcher called time before the pitcher threw over to first base and took one disengagement. The pitcher has one disengagement, has one left.
Yeah, he just wanted to make sure it wasn't two disengagements.
Yeah,
so that's, we had it correct.
All right, here we go. Lucas off first. There he goes, Guerrero, ground ball, base hits. Lucas got a head start, but with that ball right in front of Elliot Ramos, deciding to take no risks. And the Jays are threatening here in the 6th.
Base runner going, nothing George could do it short. See Ramos trying to back pick. Almost got away from Jazz, so fastball at a challenge count, 3-2. You know Garrett Cole's not going to walk anybody.
Yankee pen. And you can understand that. A 1-0 game. Time for home field advantage presented by Zillow. Tonight we look at George Springer. Last 11 home games against the Yankees. Hitting .415. A lot of slug over that span. That includes that incredible Canada Day performance last year against the Yankees that seemed to turn the entire season for the Blue Jays. From July 1st onward, from that Canada Day onward, he had the best OPS in baseball.
Now this is where Garrett Cole, he digs down, he has an extra gear. Very close, but one of those 50-50.
Strike at 97 on the inner half. Springer, remember, early this year, fouled the ball off his left big toe. Small fracture, came back after 15 days. And right after that, fouled it off the same toe again, and he just hasn't been himself all year. They've given him a few more days off lately. Came off the bench a couple times this month. The extra base hits have not been there for Springer. 5 for his last 29. 0 extra base hits over that span. 3-1. And Springer grounds it left side. McMahon charges, steps in the bag, throws across, and it's off the glove of Garcia looking for the pick. He'll throw it to third. Nobody covering, and the ball gets away. Guerrero pops to his feet, and he will score. But what's the call here with Lombard engaged in a collision with Guerrero? The tying run has come across for Toronto. And Guerrero a little bit shaken up after that collision.
This is almost an inning-ending double play. McMahon comes across the bag. He steps in between Hop to Garcia. You see him, he spins, throws. Wild throw. Lombard runs right into Guerrero with a knee to the head.
What chaos.
That was chaotic.
But in all of that, the Blue Jays have tied the game. As Kirk smokes this to left field. That'll get all the way to the wall. And Toronto will take the lead.
What a sequence of events. This very easily could still be a 1-0 game. Possible inning-ending double play. Doesn't go the Yankees' way. And then Alejandro Kirk, an off-speed pitch up. Springer comes around to score. Wild.
But what got this in motion? Sloppy play in the field from the Yankees on an ill-advised throw from Luis Garcia Jr.
There it is again. McMahon steps, throws. He probably had a little bit more time. And then the throw from Garcia. And that's the one where you have to eat it.
And the Blue Jays hope that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is okay after that collision. He went down the tunnel. Meanwhile, 0-2 to Andres Jimenez.
There's that collision. There's the knee. I mean, that's...
Good to see Guerrero. Two and two. Jimenez fouls it back right in the direction of Cosmo Okamoto, the on-deck circle. Another foul ball. You mentioned it earlier, Spilly. The Yankees' attention to detail is going to be a focal point.
And I know Yankee fans don't like to hear it. I mean, it's what's going on.
Jimenez strikes out, and Garrett Cole walks off the mound in frustration. A 1-0 lead is gone. And the Emmy-winning comedy Ted Lasso returns for a new season. Ted's biggest challenge yet, coaching a second division women's football team. Don't miss Ted Lasso Season 4, now streaming on Apple TV. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went back down the tunnel. This is, I would imagine, Spilly, gotta be concussion evaluation or something to that effect, because he has left the game and been replaced by Charles McAdoo, the rookie for Toronto at first base.
I mean, it was an extremely violent collision at third base. McAdoo, you know, he spent most of today working on fly balls in left field.
And while the new pitcher for the Blue Jays is Tyler Rogers, and there's McAdoo, takes over for Guerrero at first.
Rogers has the lowest release point in baseball, submariner, durable.
Best ground ball rate. But Chisholm drills this one in the air to center field, and Bateman is underneath it. Garrett Cole animated in the Yankee dugout. Started innocently enough with the Bateman single to left. Lucas on a fielder's choice. And then Guerrero with a single. Looked like, at the very least, they'd be able to hold the Blue Jays, with McMahon getting the lead runner at third on a force. But the throw from Luis Garcia back across the diamond created havoc on the base paths and extended the inning. Elliot Ramos bats here.
Ramos, I mean, this is a former All-Star with the Giants, and he's got great power opposite field.
And he lifts this to center. Bateman drifting back. And another putout. Now Cole, I'm curious how the Yankees want to approach the rest of his outing, because he's going to face the bottom third of the Blue Jays order.
Just based on his body language and the way he's walking around, especially in his spot, I mean, it feels like his night is done.
Sixth time in 7 starts that Cole has gone at least 6 innings.
Both starters, quality starts tonight.
Yeah. This is stroked to left field on one hop by McMahon. A low liner to put him aboard with 2 outs. We knew it was going to be a pretty stellar pitching matchup tonight between Bieber and Cole, and it delivered. And now it's on to the Blue Jays bullpen. We'll see if the Yankees use theirs.
This McMahon just trying to, you got to make sure you keep your spine angle the same way. Whenever you watch a submariner, one of the things you naturally do as a hitter is you dip your head, try to pick up the baseball. You want to stand tall, and in the case of Rogers, he likes to throw his fastball at the top. Gets a lot of fly ball outs.
So I hear from hitters who describe seeing the dot on the seams of the baseball. Is it different from a submariner?
The whole thing is different. I mean, even how the fastball works is different.
Paul Blackburn has done a great job in relief for the Yankees this season, getting loose. We'll see if Cole's night is done. As Wells stays alive. It's a lot of one-way conversation going on.
And the Yankees were so close to getting out of that inning without any damage done.
Blue Jays bullpen has been leaned on heavily lately. 56 2/3 innings pitched as a group in August, the most in baseball. They traded away Jeff Hoffman at the deadline to Minnesota. They did just pick up Paul Sewald off waivers, and he's active today. Off the hands, a pop out for Wells. And it's time to get up and stretch in Toronto. 2-1 Blue Jays.
Let's take a look at pitching decisions presented by Sage. It was one pitch. First pitch to Alejandro Kirk, a little slider, and that's the difference in the ball game. That ends the night for Garrett Cole. He's gone 6 innings 6 times in his last 7 starts, but you can tell he was clearly frustrated with how that inning unfolded.
And with his night being done, Paul Blackburn out of the Yankee pen, 45th appearance. This Yankees bullpen has been stellar.
I mean, they across the board, you look at strikeouts, ERA. It has been one of the best bullpens in baseball.
They didn't touch their bullpen at the trade deadline. No earned runs allowed last 15 1/3 as a group. Just 4 in their last 27 2/3 as a group. And the second best bullpen ERA in the game coming into the night. Only the Red Sox have been better. Okamoto, Sanchez, Clement for the Blue Jays here in the home half of the 7th.
Blackburn was a former starter, so when he comes out of the bullpen, he has a full mix of pitches.
Blackburn, who's been great. Brent Hedrick, who has been stellar. And then David Bednar at the back. There's the pitch mix. Blackburn. This is smoked into the screen foul.
That's what makes hitting so hard when you start getting into really elite bullpens, is their bullpens pump strikes. There's a vast arsenal that you have to contend with. Every guy's different.
Meanwhile, the Blue Jays, can they add some insurance? Their top slugger at the plate. Okamoto, hard ground ball. McMahon, nice play, long throw, got him.
This time Garcia picks it at first base. I mean, it's a really difficult play. The ball hit over 100 miles an hour on the backhand, and then McMahon's throw short hops Garcia. You see McMahon's like, man, I need to either get it in the air or skip it for a longer hop.
Sanchez at the plate here, 0 for 2. Missed time last month with a sprained ankle. Came over in a trade in the offseason from the Astros.
This is what makes Blackbird so valuable, is that he can eat up multiple innings. And if you're down a run, he can hold you right there, so you're not having to use your plus side relievers until the Yankees get the lead, and then he can go to Bednar.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sanchez is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Gorgeous night for baseball in Toronto. Sun is set and we're in the late innings. This glances off the bat of Ernie Clement for strike 1. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. First of 3 this weekend between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. First of a bunch against division opposition for the Yankees. Up the middle from Clement, and just beyond the glove of Lombard. That'll keep the inning going. Today starts a stretch of 13 of 16 for the Yankees against AL East opposition, and for the Blue Jays, they're in a stretch of 13 in a row.
The artificial turf at this ballpark, it is very quick through the infield. It also gives you an idea of just the range.
You're going to see some dazzling highlights from George Lombard Jr. And they are hoping that at long last he is the answer at short. Up the middle, a base hit for Bateman. And a 2-out rally here for the Blue Jays.
Little 2-hit night for Bateman. Off-speed pitch. It's not hitting hard. It's about 80 miles an hour off the bat, but it gives you an idea of his skill set. I mean, he's a contact hitter. All through the minor leagues, high contact rate.
Conversation on the mound here with Bradley Hanner getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Matt Blake, Yankee pitching coach, is out there while they have their conversation on the mound. A reminder that Sunday Night Soccer is back this weekend. A pair of regular season matches. Qatar Musa and FC Dallas take on in-state rival Austin FC, and then Tomas Muller and first place Vancouver face the Seattle Sounders. Full coverage on Apple TV begins 8 p.m. Eastern this Sunday. Nathan Lucas now. Blue Jays, who have struggled big time with runners in scoring position, and in this situation, runners in scoring position, 2 outs. They are hitting just .206 as a team. Last year, they were the best in baseball with runners in scoring position. This year, their average in all situations, all out situations, they are 22nd. Lucas swings over top of that nasty pitch.
Really good changeup, downward movement. So the toughest pitch in baseball to hit is a changeup with movement down.
0-2 from Blackburn. Again, he went with the changeup. Lucas, who had the biggest hit of his career last year in the division series, game 1, 2-run double in the 7th inning. Wonderful story of perseverance. Didn't make his big league debut until his age 28 season. 733 career games in the minors. And again on deck is McAdoo after Guerrero left the game after a hard collision between he and George Lombard Jr. Everybody will be in motion here. Big pitch for Blackburn. Payoff on the way. And Lucas with a shallow fly ball left field. Ramos charges and makes the catch on the run. And we are through 7 in Toronto. We head to the 8th in a 1-run game. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielborg's here with you. About what we expected, pitchers duel and 2 teams that have lacked offense all year long, and the Blue Jays ahead 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, this was, we knew coming into this series, these are 2 really good teams trying to get completely on track with their offense. It's been pitching, pitching, pitching. Garrett Cole, another great start for him. Shane Bieber looked fantastic tonight, one of his best starts. And now it's up to the bullpens.
Rogers still on for Toronto as he faces Lombard, Grisham, and Rice. The Yankees starting a 6-game road trip. They've won 18 of 29 since July 9th. Only the Red Sox and the Rays have been better in the American League over that span. Big cushion in the wild card coming in. Tampa Bay running away with the division, though. It's now runs full here on Lombard. Game against the Orioles. 2-2 in the 7th. We're going to be in Baltimore next week. A rematch of that one. Ground ball left side. Okamoto fields, throws, picked nicely by McAdoo. Let's take a look at our game summary and cap off the night presented by Blue Moon.
We've been talking about some of the Yankee miscues. This is Chad Chisholm with 2 outs. Didn't realize that it was 2 outs. Thought it was 1. Lombard, a little over aggressive, gets caught on the base paths, and then in the 6th inning, this is the difference maker in the game. You know, possible double play to end the inning, and then it turns into a throwing error, and then it led to a hit from Alejandro Kirk.
Blue Jays head to their bullpen here in the 8th. By Goodyear, along with the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spilborghs. Alex Faust here with you. Trisha Whitaker down on the field with us as well here at Rogers Center. 2-1 Blue Jays. Top 8, Mason Fluharty, who's been a workhorse for the Blue Jays, one of their best relievers all year.
Yeah, 64th appearance for him. He's got Grisham and Ben Rice. Trent already hit a homer, singled in his second at bat. And his numbers against lefties, 740 OPS. It's actually higher than facing right-handers.
Fluharty, who perhaps was thrown into the biggest possible situation for your first career Major League save against the Dodgers last summer. He struck out Shohei Ohtani in a 9-pitch at-bat and then induced a ground-out from Mookie Betts, all with the bases loaded for his first career big league save.
Means there's ice in his veins.
I'll say. Popped up by Grisham. Shallow center. Bateman took a step back. He'll make the catch for the second out.
You're always looking for some leverage opportunities whenever you get late in the game, and with the Blue Jays, you know, the lefty and Fluharty right here, this is the perfect time to deploy your lefty. It's because you have a string of left-handed Yankee hitters right here.
This Yankees team has struggled in one-run games, under 500 in that department.
Yeah, they're 15 and 18 in one-run games.
Go down.
And don't get me started on extra innings. That's the part where, you know, when the Yankees look back, 2-9 in extra innings.
At one at the bottom, though, the average against starting pitching came to the forefront here again tonight. Shut down by Shane Bieber for the most part, but for a solo home run by Trent Grisham. Blue Jays up 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th in Toronto. He's going to hold up and he's in trouble.
This is a learning moment.
This time I came with friends.
To the track, to the wall, it is gone!
I didn't hear you.
With the knee to the head.
And Toronto will take the lead. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Goodyear. 2-1 Blue Jays at Rogers Center. First of a 3-game set between the Blue Jays and the Yankees here in Toronto. Bradley Hanner comes into the game. And for the Yankees, they're hoping that this debut is a strong one to keep the Yankees in the game. Major League debut for the 27-year-old from Rhodesville, Virginia.
What a journey. Special moment for him, and he's got the tough task of just keeping the score exactly where it's at. Well, McAdoo had to come in to replace Vlad Guerrero. Collision at third base. We haven't heard any updates so far.
Trisha, did you hear anything down in the dugout earlier?
Guys, I'm not hearing anything, but Vlad has not come back out to the dugout, and a couple of the trainers have come out and briefed John Schneider a couple different times throughout the last inning or so. So he has not come back out, guys.
Okay. This was a hard shot. But that run tied the game for Toronto in the 6th inning before Alejandro Kirk drove in Springer with an RBI double. And McAdoo will lift this foul.
McAdoo, you by trade is a third baseman. They had him working in the outfield. He was taking fly balls in left field. They like his bat. He's also a very distant cousin of Bob McAdoo, NBA Hall of Famer.
And he is down on strikes. One gone here in the 8th as we send you back to the studio. An update on some of the other action going around the majors. Sierra Santos.
Tie game at the top of the 7th until Dylan Beavers singles. That'll drive in 2 runs. It is currently 4-2 O's in the top of the 8th. Guys, let's get it back to you.
How about that? Sierra, that would be a gigantic result for Baltimore. They could get within a half game. Tigers, actually, they get within a game. The Tigers lost to the White Sox. Same for the Blue Jays here. If they hold on to win this game, they'd be within a game of the final playoff spot. Up to the second wild cards with that loss for Detroit. They're now in a tie with the Rangers. And yes, a team that's under 500 is in the final playoff spot. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back Ks to begin your major league career. Not bad.
Not bad. That's awesome. Sweeping slider just painted on the outside corner. Job receiving by Wells as well.
Bradley Hanner taking in the 21st round of the 2019 draft out of Patrick and Henry Community College in Martinsville, Virginia, a place better known for stock car racing than baseball. Kirk, right field, pretty deep, and Toronto has some insurance in the 8th. He gave them the lead in the 6th, and he pads the lead in the 8th with a solo homer.
This is just what makes Alejandro Kirk so valuable to this Blue Jays offense. You talked about the injuries suffered a little bit early on. He just has an incredible ability to barrel up pitches. It is power opposite field. 5th home run of the season. He gets a dragon. He gets a homer jacket.
And now bunting for a hit. Here's Jimenez. He dives away from the tag. He is out. Jimenez trying to catch the defense sleeping. Luis Garcia Jr. staying with it and getting a piece of Jimenez. Tonight's Adobe standout score. We take you to the bottom of the 6th. What an effort by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. After this collision, to get his bearings and jog home for the tying run. He did leave the game after that. Costly defensive mistake by the Yankees, who have committed 2 errors here tonight. And now Louis Varland, who's been stellar out of the Toronto bullpen, 2026 All-Star. He's been their go-to arm in high-leverage situations, and he's on for the save.
Yeah, ranks 5th in the American League with 26 saves, and it's a big fastball. He's got a great curveball. And he'll use the changeup to lefties. That's the pitch that keeps him off the fastball. It'll be Spencer Jones, Luis Garcia Jr., and then Jazz Chisholm.
Bounding ball to second. Clement, 1 gone.
It's so important to get the first out in the 9th inning. That just changes the entire complexity of an inning.
How big was that homer from Kirk to provide a bit of insurance? Yankees down to their final 2 outs. Luis Garcia Jr. grounds one sharply up the middle, but that's where Jimenez was shaded. 2 quick outs on 3 pitches. Louis Varland leading the American League in ERA among relievers. 1 out away from save number 27. Jazz Chisholm Jr., the last hope for the Yankees. Chisholm on the first pitch to center field. Bateman is there, and the ball game is over. Don't sleep on the Blue Jays just yet. They've won 9 of 14 to begin the month of August, and they are within a game of the final wild card spot.
This game had it all. Quality starting pitching. Got some big swings from both sides. But you knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel coming into it, and it's going to be one throughout the entire series. The Yankees just shaking their heads.
The division's gotten a bit out of hand for the Yankees. They have a big cushion in the wild card. This series, though, feels huge. You can sense it in the crowd for the Blue Jays to try to keep this run going. 4 games under 500, but crucially right in the hunt for the wild cards. We take a look at tonight's PNC play of the game. This solo homer in the 8th inning by Alejandro Kirk, the knockout blow.
Yeah, it really was. 5th home run of the year for Kirk. He just got a fastball he could handle, and that was just the breathing room Toronto needed for a no-drama 9th inning with Louis Varland.
Big stretch of games here for the Blue Jays. This 3-game set with the Yankees, 3 more with Tampa Bay, then the Yankees again next week. 13 straight games against AL East opposition. And to scratch this one out, 3-1 in the opener, is a big lift as they continue this run. Now 9-5 this month. Remember, Toronto has not been able to put together a sustained run all year. They had losing records in April, June, and July. They were last at the 500 mark on June 22nd. The reigning pennant winners may be clawing their way back. Trisha Whitaker down to the field with Alejandro Kirk.
All right, Alejandro, you go yard and you drive in the go-ahead run in the 6th inning. What was your approach in that situation, knowing you had a chance to give your team the lead?
Yeah, I was just thinking of put the ball in play, have a good pitch to hit it, and I got it. And we got that.
How about? We didn't have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here to do it. He usually does it. You saw him truck his way home after a nasty collision at third base. How tough is that guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's scary. You don't want to see your best player doing that, but we got the run.
Alejandro, Shane Bieber, he was phenomenal tonight, perhaps one of his best starts of this season. What did you see from him behind the plate?
Yeah, I think the way he's attacking the zone, he's a competitor, and I think he's one of the best.
You have a .352 average since the All-Star break. What's been different for you?
I don't know, I just want to compete. I want to go out there and compete, win games, and that's it.
Your manager was telling me that it feels like this group is catching its groove. You've now won 11 of your last 16 games. Why should no one count you out right now?
Yeah, I think the vibes are high right now. Everybody's putting their work, and you know that's what you want on August and September.
The vibes are high. You heard it from Alejandro Kirk. Thank you so much. Appreciate the time.
You're welcome.
Guys, back to you.
Trisha, the Blue Jays are officially back in the playoff chase. A big win to open this series against the Yankees here in Toronto. Alejandro Kirk providing the heroics. Go-ahead shot and an insurance marker as well. Let's take a look back at the best of tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Just perfection today in the 6. Gorgeous night for baseball. And for Blue Jays fans, starting to feel like they're back in the hunt. A 3-1 win over the New York Yankees here at Rogers Center as we welcome you inside the booth. What's your takeaway on this game?
I mean, for Blue Jays fans, it's like, all right, here's a team that we were expecting a year ago heading into the offseason with the moves, the expectations. You got the Yankees in town a year ago, right at the start of July, right after Canada Day. That's where they took off. Maybe the time frame for them is a little bit longer. And on the other side with the Yankees, I mean, it was something we were talking about with their offense. They're very homer dependent. So how are they going to come through? And tonight, we saw this crazy collision at third base, a ball that probably should have been thrown from Luis Garcia, trying to do a little bit too much, trying to get Guerrero at third, and that led to the 2 runs in the 6th inning. Garrett Cole was phenomenal. Just a great pitching matchup. Bieber looked great. Garrett Cole was a monster, and it boils down to those little itty-bitty plays that we talk about with the Yankees.
By the way, we have yet to hear a word on Guerrero's status and evaluation for that injury. You mentioned the pitching matchup tonight. Shane Bieber, highs and lows since coming back from that elbow injury, but he was stout tonight.
He was really spinning the baseball tonight. And for Shane Bieber, one of the last things that come when you're coming off of Tommy John and multiple injuries to your elbow is location. Tonight, he was fantastic. He was in the strike zone, with multiple weapons. The slider was great. The knuckle curve was really working. And as you're watching Shane Bieber, because he spins the baseball, he's not going to overpower you with the fastball. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. These were his 18 outs. And one fielder's choice in there, but got it with the fastball, knuckle curve, changeup, slider. Talk about his ability to spin it. He was spinning it really well.
What a pitching matchup. It delivered. But the Yankees just sloppy enough to hand the Blue Jays that 6th inning. And the Blue Jays come away with a 3-1 victory. By the way, this is the first time since June 26th that the Blue Jays have been within a game of the wild card cut line. Pretty impressive stuff for Toronto here to get back in the playoff chase as we take a look back at tonight's pregame predictions presented by BetMGM. Ben Rice held at bay. Garrett Cole, well, he delivered on his end, but the Yankees were losers tonight. And as we take a look ahead to next week, how about the Baltimore Orioles climbing back in the playoff chase? They had a big rally to take the lead over the Rays, that game in the late stages, and they can climb to within a game in the wild card. The Angels at the Rangers will be the late game on Apple TV with our doubleheader next week. For other scores, highlights, and the latest news from around Major League Baseball, check out the Sports tab in the Apple News app. Big thank you to our edit team led by Jason Seacamp, Jake Catalano, their great work over the last week helping us out. And for Ryan Spielberg, Trisha Whitaker, and our entire crew, this is Alex Faust. We thank you for watching Apple TV Friday Night Baseball. We will see you next week in Baltimore. Good night from Toronto.